Hello, Tenno Zelp here, and today we're gonna look at two different bugs. So let's get started. The first one is something that I've actually talked about with the Anessa and the Warding Halo. So if you guys have seen that video, you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, I'm just gonna show you a little bit on what's going on. So I'm going to use a butcher for an example. Ooh, this is not the level. Okay, so level 80. Now I want you to pay attention to the damage done by Warding Halo. So as you can see, it is not a lot. On the level 80 butcher is about 5% or so. So now I'm gonna show it to you what happens when the Warding Halo meets an enemy that is being ragdolled. Okay, so same thing. And to do that ragdoll, one of the ways is actually using the Neza's ultimate skill, which causes it to ragdoll. Now pay attention to the damage dealt here. Do you see that? So it's not a sudden big burst damage. It is actually individual small amount of damage, which I believe is being done due to the Warding Halo. So basically lots of 5% damage. Now you could further increase the damage if you cast it on, let's say, your Sentinel as well. So basically there is 2 Warding Halo. So what will happen here is that yeah, if you go close enough, there you go, almost like an instant kill, but again it's not. It's just many hits of the Warding Halo. So this actually applies to skills. I've tried duplicating this effect with weapons, weapon damages and stuff, but I can't seem to find one. Maybe something with a unique mechanic. So I'm going to show you one of the skill that I did not came up with myself. It is something that someone told me in Discord quite a long time ago, but I did not save his name, so I forgot who was it. However, if you are watching this, please let me know who you are on Discord, and I will put your name in the description because I really want to credit you for sharing this with me. It involved the Ash and its Shuriken. Now Shuriken has a 100% bleed proc. Okay, so if you could ragdoll the enemy at the same time, do a Shuriken attack, it's going to apply multiple Shuriken attacks and do multiple bleed procs, and that is going to kill a lot of high level enemies. So I guess the condition here is that the enemy must be able to go into a ragdoll state. So let me just show you with a level 145 heavy gunner. Okay, so here I have the Sonic Core, and it's a really good weapon for ragdolling enemies. Let's just see how this works. Boom, and you throw your Shuriken, and oh, do you see that? Very nice, right? So yeah, so I guess that kind of concludes how this bug kind of happened, because at the time where I did the bug video on Neza, I actually got all kinds of theories on how something to do with momentum, that is actually hitting against the wall or the floor. Some even says something about the knockback from the Neza's Warding Halo is the one that caused it to sort of vibrate and keep taking damage from the Warding Halo, which I don't think that's the case considering that considering what you just saw. So let's talk about the next bug. Now next bug is actually me trying to pull off this similar bug on a different Warframe, and so happened found that specific bug. But before I go there, I want to tell you something about the Death by God video that I did. Okay, so the idea of this bug is that if the enemy is in an awkward position where the game sort of believe that it is no longer functionable, is no longer fit to fight, it will remove it from the game. Okay, so if let's say if you throw this fourth ability on the wall here, so the game will think that it is latched on something, or it is being disabled somehow, something like when the enemy falls from a cliff and lands somewhere awkward, so it will actually, the game will actually kill it. So this is what happens, and this happens in missions as well. You can actually use Vauban right now and do this kind of bug and kill a lot of enemies, high level enemies, this easily. But there is a drawback, is that because it's being killed by the game, you do not actually get any experience from this. But I want you to know the concept. The concept is that the game will sort of identify certain conditions of the enemies, and if the condition is unique, or somehow the game do not know how to handle it, it will actually remove it from the game. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the second bug. So here we have Saren, and this bug is going to be done with her. I'm going to show you some demonstration on what happens when you have the mole and you use the spore on it, and when you destroy the spore, what happens to the enemy nearby. And then I'm going to show you again on the bug, basically Death by God by the Warframe god. Okay, so there, do you see multiple damages done by the spore? Okay, let's just see that again. See, multiple damages plus multiple ticks as well. Wait, let me just get a better view. It needs to be alive in order for you to see it. Shit. I'm sorry. Let's just... oh yeah, there you go. Do you see it? Multiple ticks. Okay, so it has something to do with that, I believe. But then again, I could be wrong. But I just want you to know that tiny little fact before I show you the actual bug. Okay, so now the bug is that if I were to do that amount of damage on heavy gunner, whatever level it is, at the same time, when it gets ragdolled, it is going to instant die. Now my theory, which I'll explain later after the demonstration, is that it has something to do with the thing that I just shown you. Okay, so let's see the mole, this thing, and we just need to wait for him to come close enough. Boom. Do you see it? So ragdolling it by hitting here, basically that blast is going to pop the spore, and at the same time it's going to kill is going to ragdoll this enemy. And by doing that at the same time, wherever enemy that is at range will die instantly. Okay, now it's very important that your mole does not die. If it dies at the same time as well, or close to it, the multiple procs will not happen, and if that doesn't happen, then the bug will not appear. So here you see me and my buddy Nordis from Discord basically trying to implement that bug on an AOE skill. So he's playing as a Neza, and we all know from just now that Neza has an AOE ragdoll ability, which is the fourth one, Divine Spear. And together with my also AOE mole and spore combo thingy, and we're going to try to replicate that bug. And guess what? It works, but the problem is it is not very consistent. So I wouldn't recommend you going to a high level mission right now trying to pull this off. But I'm going to tell you the theory that I have on why the enemy dies so quickly. But again, it is just a theory, so it's still debatable. So the idea of my theory is that if you were to do one skill damage on a ragdoll enemy, it's going to do multiple hits, right? So imagine what happens if you were to do multiple hits, which is what's being happening with the mole and spore. That multiple hit on a ragdoll enemy is going to cause even more multiple hits. And I guess at some point the game probably cannot comprehend that many individual multiple hits on a single target, and therefore removing it from the game. So the way to tell if the enemy dies of natural causes, like from you shooting at it, I'm not sure if that is considered natural, or if it's from this bug, which is being removed by the game, is actually to see whether or not you get experience from their death. So if you see the enemy dies without the experience, you know that it's due to this bug. Now again, this is just a theory, so I'd like to hear what you think at the comments. Looking forward to see that. Meanwhile, have a great weekend. I kind of rushed this whole video just for the weekends because I won't be around, so I won't be making videos like for the next few days. So I just want to leave something a little bit more interesting before I go. So as always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. I wish you a pleasant day, Tenos. Bye bye. Oh my god, it's like a disease. It's spreading so fast.
What are you guys doing?
No, you're fighting. We are like waiting for the enemies to die.
Using what?
Just keep spreading.
Yeah?
Oh my god, you saw that? The instant die?
Yeah. When I put them down on the ground instead.
Yeah.
So they have to be ragdolled on the ground, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It might be though. It might be.